Hello, mateys. This is Discovery Scouts, a Pirates of the Caribbean film series here, and today is October 23rd, 2015. I just went at about 8 o'clock mass for church, celebration of Lutheran Church. This is fun. Yesterday the United States Collisions course is fun in the movie. Today I have a special. Today I will listen to my Batman vs Superman about very fightful for acting for actors for Ben Affleck for players about for the Suicide Squad. He mentioned about Bruce Wayne, and he knows about it. Knows it about DC comic villains, or maybe he will be hero. You know, it was been about very strangers. Heroes have been about hide and seek into the walls, but his daughter certainly walked there to the trespassed, you know, and he came to flying it to found him, you know. He started to hit them and fight, and butters his over for the death shot for no reasons. But the girl wants to stop with her dad. He starts to fight. He starts it about the fight. It starts about he's getting the rest of the whole reason of good life. He can't be around this world, and probably he stays in the prison for a long time. But a suicide for means the task force will can't hear it by the dead shot, played by the Will Smith. He has been arrested by Gotham, Chicago Police Department. Was estimated for the prison for the task force where the SWAT team is. You know, where she can't unfortunately be an attorney to being about desecrations, and it's been about all this is known about it. Be the crime investigated for the investigating, and with this is criminal, and then he wasn't very invested. It was a convinces for whom the one of them the one is it about the fire El Diablo, and the who killed him for the who killed the disease with his family and the houses. And they call it, and the firefighters came back, and some of those are older units, and he was certainly he came underestimate, and he didn't mean to from his family, from his wife, his son, and his daughter, and he was very involved, very mean. Did not know from the mention for he was suddenly he was in a consent. He was stated to stay with his person while he was there for security cameras on his make of TV on his about private computers with the task force checking those out their bodies. And Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and it's about the boyfriend as Jared Leto as the Joker. You know, if one of them about the driving way to the partying, ruining those dates, if one of the Bruce Wayne as wearing the suit for the Batman just driving away to chasing for the Joker's car, and he was certainly company. She says Bessie into 3 times, and she's got her gun. She's got a gun, but he's gonna shoot him and block him. And he was jumping over the one of the up there the top of the roof on the side. And when they fall over into the Gotham crossing there into the river. And this is where they found him. That's where they found the Harley Quinns in his car. diving, diving and punching me with her nose, and they rescue her out of the water. And the Batman takes the Harley Quinn to the prison, Harley Quinn to the jail. She's under the arrest for intimidating. She has been the right to remain silent. She could ever insult. She'd been never saw it before. And I have Killer Croc stays in jail and staying in prison. And when she lives down to sleeping with the water is in the sewers, but not the same everything. And she was a very analysis. He was located to the Gotham City, and where this is about the witch to transform it for the entrance. So that she was played by Cara Delevingne, and she was played at the entrance where the lightning thunderstorm is. She was been about villainously every creature, every girl in the witch, every girl the enchantress looks like about the queen. It was she wasn't mean. It was short the myth that she was about walking through the caves, walking through the hiking with the cavern with the rock, searching for the for human research sorority, and she was been familiar. She was with the witch chairs. She wasn't there. The enchantress hasn't hurt the body. She has to transform it. She has a voice. She has a voice. She can hear it. She didn't know was it very involved. He didn't know about his love. Wasn't it involved? Wasn't the monster inside her? You know. When the transformated tried to stop the ball, and he didn't know about the good. He didn't know about no reason. He could have stopped her for the enchantress. Suicide Squad team. They also is searching for one of those to fight for the creature, fight for the creatures. All of those bad guys, all of those bad creatures just was killed. It was certain. There was literally certain thing. Excuse me. I didn't know. He didn't know about recognizing. He didn't know to say no. I have something, guys, for you. If it's all you knows about. Society. You know, it's just most of it have a very. He was very exhausted, warming up and resting, having a break, having those that keep moving, to be relocated, reapplied. Those she has been the evil in enchantress. She has the rest of the whole this life. The whole thing, it was a very good possessions. When it's about the team goes up to be the continued, to be the part 1 through part 2, and she was annually very excitement to see what is hiding for. It was a very tax for the mission. It's an objective. It's also the very most that have an objective. If very resulted, very harassments, and notice about who killed that family. And one of the evil girl was one of wearing those in the witch dress, and she looks like about the witch, the enchantress queen. She was about villain, unnoticed, very resulted, who didn't killed, who didn't transform it for the Suicide Squad bodies, and he figuring those out for her brother, for his brother, to figure out. So it's kind of like very ridiculous. You know about it, sort of. So it's kind of like to beat about killing and chances to for death for the girl for to love him, for the Captain Boomerang, for the colonel for working those to the task force with the task force in prisons, for this forever, and also those about her love, who is the Harley's love, the Joker. She was to still resurrect him from the chopper for the explosion, the disease where he dies. He wears to the excuse of the SWAT team, and then noticing he has to be done about few things after the enchantress dead. So everything got the good, guys. So the Joker's back. To rescue to come home for Harley Quinn, to love him by Joker. This is ends, and credits for the Bruce Wayne. So from Batman vs Superman. That's it. Get ready, don't forget to subscribe to more contests to www.gom.org to type a letter for Pirates of the Caribbean Pirates of the Caribbean film series.us. So tell your friends, tell you about it about Suicide Squad. So call my Jagger Nuggets, Big Brother, Georgie Staubauger, get behind the camera, Bridget West and Man and Corn, Jelly Waddy, Man and Corn, Georgie and Bro Squad, Wagging Dad, Creed, Psycho Dad, Psycho Uncle 2, Psycho Uncle 3, Psycho Mom and Melissa, Larry's Lounge, Joey Hood, and Dara Diesel Daily, Space Jam's Gardens, Cuban Guy, The Cuban Guy Life, The Boo Show, and Crazy Boyfriend, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google, Finds, Twitch, Livestream, Gaming Channels, Google, and Finds, Twitch, and Play Cock-a-Story, Cock-a-Talk, and Tumblr and Play Stores. Don't forget, guys. If you guys to be having fun, have a great day. Don't forget. So keep it rich, mateys.